Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday afternoon. It is Monday, July 15th. Can you believe it? We're halfway through the month of July already. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday afternoon and your summer. Seems like we just had the first day of summer. Now it's mid-July. What's up, everybody? Welcome to J is for Justice. I am your host, J, J-A-Y. Let's not mistaken that, J-A-Y over here. And I'm coming at you live from Studio J in Clearwater, Florida. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, moderators. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate you. Got the best mods on the tubes. Hashtag best mods. Hashtag best mods. You know, my weekend was messed up too. I think because we had that 4th of July holiday, Jess. I think it messed us up. And good afternoon, clickers. Welcome in, guys. Clickers are our members. If you'd like to become a member, just ask a mod how to do so.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man. Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Tomorrow morning, we have our Tuesday morning live. Oh, Kels, don't butter my ass. We have Tuesday morning live tomorrow. And next week, the following Tuesday, we're going to have a special guest. Incognito Potato is going to join me for some morning show action. I know you guys will love having Potato up here.
Ooh-wee, that will scare somebody.
So we're going to get the Brit up here, and maybe we can talk a little bit about Jay Slater. I saw that they are looking for human remains or something. So we could talk about maybe some of the British crimes going on that we hear of. There's not a lot of them that we hear about, but maybe she can bring us some British stuff. Flip-flops. Flip-flops and applesauce. Hey, Jenny, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. So we've got some headlines today. If you haven't hit that like button, now is a great time to do so. We're going to slide into our first story, and this is a disturbing one. So we have, as you can see, the same Orange County Sheriff that we had in the Madeline Soto case, right? Hang on, let me open this up on YouTube.
Child.
We remember his voice all too well, right? When we were waiting for news on the Stephen Stearns Madeline Soto case. And by the way, I have not gone over the emails, but Granny is watching and I read them this morning. So if you want to know what was in those wicked ass emails between Stephen and his dad, the mods can put the link in there. We spent a good few hours going through them and discussing them, and it's a Roberta situation, it sounds like, with some poodles mixed in, right?
Roberta.
Summy, thank you for being here. I saw Summy said, hi, I came from Granny's. Thank you so much. It's hot in Kansas City. It is hot everywhere. It is hot every stinking where. What's up, Angie B? Hello, Alyssa. I hope you're having a good day as well. Robin and Miss Nightbot. Hi, Olive. Thanks for being here. Patrick says, bing bong. What's up, Robin? I asked 8-Ball if it was a fabulous Monday, and he said, yikes, ask again later. It's not a good sign. Welcome in. Hey, beautiful. Love your picture. Streamlabs is feeling the Monday blues. Are you feeling the Monday blues? Put a 1 in chat. Maybe we can change that today. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are Mon-Jayin. So yeah, because of the holiday, I think we got our days all screwed up. Like I thought today was Tuesday. I was thinking yesterday was Monday and today was Tuesday. I'm all screwed up as well. It's good to see all of you. Sherry. When's your birthday, Alyssa? She says, once my birthday passes, I'm done with summer, LOL. Last week was it. I'm ready for winter now. Oh, your birthday was last week? Well, happy belated. This is for you, babe. I hope you had a great one.
your birthday.
Happy birthday from all of us to you and everybody having a birthday celebrating this week, this month, today, tomorrow. What's up? None your business. Micro Kimmy just got home from vacay. I hope you had a nice one. Don't cry. Don't cry. You're back home to the puppies, right? Was this you on vacation? I love you, Mama. I love you, puppies. Little termite. Hi, little termite. So you're probably all freaked out. Like, how does this lady know my name, right? Why is this lady on my Nana's phone knowing my name, right? Little termites. Well, I think you're just adorable. And I think you're a special little boy. And I hope you have the best birthday ever. And I hope you have lots of cake and eat a piece of cake for me. And little termite, this one's for you, baby boy.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
I love you, Mama. I love you, puppies. Happy birthday, little termite. And I'm going to have your grandma pinch your cheeks for me. Enjoy, Angie. Much love to you and your family. Thank you for sharing that it was his birthday week. He should get a little present every day until his birthday. I said so. A present every day. Well, happy birthday, everybody who's having birthdays this month, July birthdays. Welcome in, welcome in. All righty. Our first story comes out of Orange County, Florida. And same county as Madeline Soto. This is a very disturbing story. A 13-year-old girl was followed from her apartment building to her friend's apartment building and never made it. This man followed her. He took her. He stabbed her. And he left her in a custodian closet, barely clinging on to life. It's horrible. These poor officers. Let's take a listen.
Is murdered. We all collectively grieve. I'm a father. Our detectives.
I'll get you some volume.
And this is very, very hard on them, and of course, the community. And we can't even imagine the pain and anguish that Rose's family and loved ones are going through right now. In the end, this was the result of great detective work, our help from the media partners, and tips from many people in the community. Rose was senselessly and brutally murdered on July 4th in the apartment complex where she lived. When deputies were called there on July 4th, they found Rose in a closet, partially naked. She had been stabbed and she was barely alive. Unfortunately, she was transported to the hospital where she...
On July 4th, the holiday, the little girl was walking to her friend's house. It's horrific.
Rose was senselessly and brutally murdered on July 4th in the apartment complex where she lived. When deputies were called there on July 4th, they found Rose in a closet, partially naked. She had been stabbed and she was barely alive. Unfortunately, she was transported to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. So we believe Rose was on her way to visit another friend in another building in that same complex when she was attacked. Her friend found Rose's cell phone and shoes in the staircase in that apartment building and reached out to Rose's family. And a family member was knocking on doors to see if they could find Rose. And then they entered the utility closet and ultimately found Rose in that closet, attempted CPR and first aid on her, and she was unresponsive. From the beginning of this case, we encountered many people in the community that were very, very cooperative and offered a lot of information. A witness at the complex reported seeing a heavyset male leaving the building where Rose was found. Video from the complex showed a person we now know to be Doris May following at a distance behind Rose. as she walked through the complex to her friend's building. At the murder scene, detectives found the packaging of a 12-inch knife believed to be the murder weapon. So an extensive canvass of the area uncovered video from a store nearby that showed Drisby buying that same kitchen knife from the store, the one which was used in the murder. So I want to thank our hardworking detectives who worked tirelessly on this case around the clock. And I want to thank our crime scene investigators and forensics unit for their hard work in the case. We also want to thank our partners at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement who are testing a significant amount of evidence as we still investigate this case. And we want to thank the community. We received many, many tips from the community that helped us lead us to him. And so you've heard me say before that law enforcement, we cannot do it alone. We need the community's help, and this case proves just that. The community really came through, media really came through for us, putting his picture out there, which ultimately led to his arrest. So Rose, as you can see, is a beautiful young woman. She should not have died this way. And my heart aches for her family and her friends.
Yeah, they got him.
But what we can do now is, provide justice for this family moving forward. So with that, I will take any questions. Yes.
Does the man arrested have a criminal history?
Yes, he does. So he had been arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior on a child. That case was ultimately dropped to child abuse. I'm not sure what.
See, that's the fucking problem. Right here. He was charged with lewd and lascivious, but it was brought down to child abuse. You guys, they've got to stop pleading down charges like this. What is going on? Hi, MM. It's good to see you. What in the hell? That's why they keep repeat offending. Yep. Listen again.
Behavior on a child. That case was ultimately dropped to child abuse. I'm not sure what time or how much time he served, but he does have a history. Our deputies have come in contact with him recently. We were called about a man walking down the street with a knife. Our deputies were able to de-escalate that situation, have him drop the knife, but he ended up punching 3 of our deputies. He was ultimately Baker acted as a result of that incident.
Oh, okay. So this motherfucker gets lewd and lascivious. It's dropped down to child abuse. Then he gets caught on the street with a knife, and he's Baker acted and put into a mental hold, probably for 72 hours. And then he was probably put back on the fucking streets where he was able to follow Rose. What's the solution?
For any indication that he knew Rose prior to this, was this completely random and he was watching her?
So he did not know her, but he used to live in that area. He's very familiar with that area. He has frequented that area, and according to people in that area, he has been seen watching girls in that area. So they were definitely concerned about him. But that's other than the lewd and lascivious conduct, and then the Baker Act a few weeks ago, that's been on.
So he was also reported to have been watching girls in the area of that apartment. So my question is, if it was reported to the police prior to this happening that there was a creepo watching girls, did the apartment complex notify their tenants? Because I feel like they should. Because if I know that there's some creepo that's been identified looking at girls, I wouldn't let my 13-year-old walk to her friends in the next building. There is no deterrent. It's this. Slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. Oh, before we go further, I want to thank really quick Retired EMT, if you're here, I want to thank you for your Amazon package. The doggos loved the treats and the alligator chew toy. And I love my new geckos that I get to put on my patio. Look, they're cool geckos with eyes. Thank you, Retired EMT. I appreciate it so, so much. Aren't they cute? But yeah, I'm going to put these out on my patio. So thank you. I didn't want to forget that. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm all over the place. You know that. Okay, so anyways, he's Baker acted. He's put back on the streets, and then he's able to follow Rose. Hi, Casey.
Only contact and knowledge about him.
The fact that he knew where a utility closet was, I'm just curious, was he a former tenant of this place, or did he ever, if he stayed in this place? Because to know things like that, you've obviously, like you said, you watched her, but you scouted it out a little bit.
I just know that many people knew that he was familiar with the area. He frequented the area. He got his hair cut from a barber locally there, and he lived in that area. So most likely he was familiar with the complex as well.
Has he been able to say anything? Have you guys got any statement from him about what happened?
So, he was arrested yesterday. He was here at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for 8 hours and did not open his mouth one time except to eat.
Do we know if he spent any time in the Civil Commitment Center under the Junior Rights Act?
One more time?
Do we know if he spent any time in the Civil Commitment Center under the Junior Rights Act?
I'm not sure.
Wait, what's a civil commitment center?
Yeah, it's correct. So, obviously, there are signs of sexual abuse. We cannot confirm that yet. So the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and others are collecting all that evidence to see if there was actually a sexual assault. And we know she was, partially clothed when she was discovered.
Is Roseneck from Orange County? How long has he been in the area?
He's been in the area, or at least in this country, since 2008.
Where's he from originally?
Haiti.
He does have a history.
He did not want to admit that, did he? He's been in this country. Wait. So he came over from Haiti, got a lewd and lascivious, and we kept him here? And then he's running around with a knife, and we kept him here? There's something wrong with that. Why do we keep them here? Ugh. Dude, our kids are not safe. They're just not.
And this area may need more patrolling. Are you able to provide more patrol so that other predators like this aren't able to attack?
So I would say that we patrol the entire community. We have marked vehicles, unmarked vehicles, motors units, all kinds of law enforcement are in all parts of the county. Certainly we target areas where we see recent spikes in crime. But I will say, my 33 years of law enforcement experience, this is a crime that is hard to predict and hard to prevent. That's what's concerning about this. So when our community sees people who are acting strangely and suspicious, they don't need to be afraid. They need to call us and let us know that, hey.
Yeah, but it sounds like they did report that he was scoping people out in the parking lot.
We're concerned about this person, and maybe we can do something to prevent something like this from happening.
Sure. I don't know if that's a birthmark or not, but did he resist an arrest or get in any kind of altercation with deputies trying to...
We'll see his face in a
There
minute.
was no resisting in the arrest of him.
Sheriff, I know this happened on July 4th, and you guys started to put out information for the community to send it. It seemed like maybe it took a few days. Were you guys trying to investigate first and then go to the public, or what was the delay?
So in any of these cases, homicide cases specifically, just know that our detectives are really working nonstop around the clock. Obviously, bits and pieces of information are coming in. Specifically in these cases, one of the reasons that we don't always put out all the information is because, remember, we still have to prosecute this case. So when we put out pictures of our suspect, remember the suspect is seeing that too. That gives him time to hide the murder weapon, to hide clothes, and do all that. So we do try and keep that close hold so that our investigation will lead to the best prosecution possible. Now, when we are at a point where we need the community's help, where we were in this case, that's when we will put it out. But just know that our detectives were working on this case nonstop since we got called.
And Sheriff, you mentioned that the community was really helpful in kind of getting this solved. Any sense of how the community has been coping with the loss of a 13-year-old that they, knew and recognized?
Another
Yeah, I mean,
13-year-old.
if you even look at the comments on our social media pages, you can tell the community is upset. We received many tips about him. I know where that person's been seen here. I know his first name is Jerry, and in fact, his father also called us to identify him as well.
His dad called.
Sheriff, were you able to talk directly with the family, and how did they react?
I know our detectives and our victim advocates have been in close contact with the family, and obviously, just like any family, they're devastated. Look at that beautiful young girl. We would all be devastated. I think, there's always going to be a sense of, well, at least, someone is being held responsible for this case. The that will all have to be sorted out by Crime Line, because yes, there were many tips that came in.
Sheriff, knowing that he was from out of the country, I'm just curious, was he here legally? Was he following all the things? Because he had the arrest prior. Was he everything there?
Yeah, it's my understanding that he was here legally since 2008.
Everybody good?
All right. Thank you.
He was here legally since 2008. So do we not have any standards for when they're not here, like when they're here legally and they decide to come here and attack our children? Is there no law covering that? That's sick. He didn't say what year the Loot Act took place. He just said he had history. But he's been here since 2008. Oh, this dude's huge. Check this out. Watch this. We're going to watch this video.
To the man charged with murdering a 13-year-old girl. Tonight, the sheriff says the teen was stabbed to death by a...
Look at her. Look at her. All she was doing was walking to her friend's apartment building. This little girl didn't stand a chance against that big ogre.
Stranger who was following her. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
I'm Matt Austin. We also learned today that murder weapon was a 12-inch knife. Sheriff John Mina says 13-year-old Rose DeJuiced was walking from her apartment to visit a friend in the same complex when she was grabbed. Deputies found her half naked and barely alive inside a utility closet. That was back on the 4th of July at the complex along Rio Grande Avenue, just south of Texas Avenue near Pine Lock Elementary School. Rose.
So you'll see the same area like John Young Parkway. You see these familiar roads when we were talking about the Madeline Soto case. It's the same county.
Sadly died at the hospital. Deputies now say their suspect was seen following Rose when they looked at surveillance video. Video they released earlier this week shows him walking through that same complex. They say tips from the video led them to arrest 28-year-old Jeremy Durisme. Now, we first told you about him last night at 11. Today, detectives revealed they also have video of him buying the murder weapon at a nearby store. Sheriff Mina says Durisme attacked another girl
Look at him.
the same age.
He attacked another girl around the same age. Look at his face. He is so disgusting.
Attacked another girl around the same age in the same area just a few years ago. News 6's Troy Campbell is digging into details of that arrest.
Yeah. What the crap? And we say Florida's tough. This guy slipped through the cracks. I wonder what county gave him the child abuse on the lewd and lascivious. That's a bunch of shit. What is that? Is that like boogers coming out of his nose? What is on his face? I can't handle it. If I have to see it up close, so do you. What is that? What is on this boy's face? This dude's been a menace to society in Florida for some time. Yep, I agree, Truth Seeker. And it's good to see you, Truth Seeker. I'm glad you're here. Oh, you think it was pepper spray? You think that's snotty nose? Because he got pepper sprayed? They said he didn't resist. It looks like a scar. Yeah, disgusting. Crusty ass. Exactly. Tori, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That was so generous of you. Your first super chat. I appreciate that.
He found several similarities.
Take a look at this booking photo of Doors Mead. This was taken on Thursday when he was arrested for murdering the 13-year-old girl. Now take a look at this photo. It was taken just a few years ago when he was released from...
That was him a few years ago. What the hell? Wow.
When he was arrested for murdering the 13-year-old girl. Now take a look at this photo. It was taken just a few years ago when he was released from a Florida prison after assaulting another girl in Orlando.
Court
Stop.
documents dating back to the afternoon of April 25th, 2020, alleging 28-year-old Jerry Dorsme sexually assaulted a girl between the ages of 12 and 15. Near the same location, 13-year-old Rose DeJuice was killed.
He had been arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior on a child. That case was ultimately dropped to child abuse.
In the same area. Look at him walking around. Look at him on that surveillance. Oh my God. He attacked another girl and got it down to child abuse. Shame on you, Orange County. Shame on you, Orange County prosecution.
On a child, that case was ultimately dropped to child abuse. I'm not sure what time or how much time he served, but he does have a history.
We took a deep dive into the case and uncovered when officers arrived to that incident. A teen girl was injured and told them Dorsme began shouting and demanding to be let inside of the apartment following a dispute Dorsme had with the girl's father. The girl claimed she had to jump off of a second-story balcony to escape him. But once she did, she said Dorsme began punching her in the arm and chest, stood over top of her, hitting her, and eventually sat on her, and threw a piece of bed frame at her in the left rib cage.
What?
After the girl grabbed a piece of glass to defend herself, Dorsme ran up to officers when they arrived, claiming the girl was who stabbed him. When officers spoke with the girl, she told them Dorsme had asked to have sexual relations, and he had touched her over her clothing. He was arrested on 3 counts of lewd or lascivious acts and child abuse, but took a plea deal, dropping it down to just 1 count for felony child abuse.
Are you fucking kidding me? Whoa. Thank you so much, Sirius Black. She said, Jay, thank you for bringing these cases to our attention. Yeah, and this didn't get any attention like Madeline Soto's case. He injured her, touched her. She had to jump out of a second-story window. She could have died. And he gets a plea deal? Who made that decision? Because of his mental capacity, maybe? Thank you, MM. I appreciate you. Shame on you, Orange County prosecutor. They got the blood of this girl's hands on them, in my opinion. What a failure. What a failure. Everything he put that child through and all he got was child abuse? That girl didn't get any justice. What about her? What a bunch of shit. Let's keep listening.
Clothing. He was arrested on 3 counts of lewd or lascivious acts and child abuse, but took a plea deal, dropping it down to just 1 count for felony child abuse.
At the press conference, Mina also said he wasn't sure how long Dorsme spent in jail for that charge. Well, we took a look at the Florida Department of Corrections website, and we see he was sentenced to a year, but he served less than 1 month.
What? Less than a month?
What?
You guys, I don't even know what to say. What is going on? What, were they just hoping that maybe he wouldn't reoffend? Unreal. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you, Sirius, again for your donation.
You don't hold account.
Oh, I'm sick. Hi, B in Florida. Good to see you.
He's now locked up without bond in Orange County.
Oh, now he's without bond.
Getting results news.
Oh, because we don't do shit. But then when they really kill somebody, then we give them bond. We don't give them bond and we keep them in. Damage is done. Oh, I am outraged. I am outraged. Thank you so much, Angie B. Oh my gosh, retired EMT. Congratulations. And make sure you thank Angie B for your membership. Thank you so much, Ange.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man. Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
It is, you know, and we always say, oh, they don't fuck around in Florida. What a shame. What a damn shame. Kels, thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. We are surrounded by such evil, y'all. I am so thankful to have you all as my online fam. Love you, tribe. We love you too, Kels. We're glad you're here and thanks for being here. Yeah, it's nuts. Deplorable. Well, I'm about to outrage you some more. I mean, I just don't know why this didn't get more coverage. I bet you those people in that apartment complex are outraged. Little Texan says, if it were the prosecutor's child, there would have been no plea deal. Yeah, you're probably right. Thank you, One-Eyed Flo, and welcome, Tori. Enjoy your membership. Make sure you thank One-Eyed Flo.
Tell you what, that dang old internet, man. Click, 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 click.
Real easy, man. All right, well, I'm about to make you even more mad, okay? So remember Bryson Muir, the ex-Colts son, the one that had a black eye, a swollen face. He was missing, and then they removed him from his parents' compound in Indiana. Well, it gets worse. They're out on bond. The parents got out. The mom is still breastfeeding an 8-month-old child, but they both got out on bond. But more details have come out, and we're going to go over those right now. So this is trigger warning because this is just, I'm so sick of hearing about this. I'm so sick of it. Right. I mean, prison here is probably like a Hilton to us. Yeah, so here we go. Ex-NFL player whooped son for allegedly touching boy's private parts. New details surrounding the arrest of former NFL player Daniel Muir and his wife Kristen stemming from their allegedly abused son Bryson's disappearance have been released. They were arrested July 3rd at their home where Bryson was found safe after his grandmother, Cheryl Wright, reported that the 14-year-old was missing on the 16th of June and also told police that she believed that he was being abused by his father. Both Daniel and Kristen Muir were charged with a count of obstruction of justice. Daniel was additionally charged with domestic battery. Bryson Muir was released to the care of the Cass County Department of Child Services. Thank you so much, Danielle, for gifting a membership. Alyssa, welcome to the Clickers.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man. Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
In a probable cause affidavit from Indiana State Police obtained by Newsweek, Daniel Muir allegedly told his wife's brother, Cameron, in a recorded call that he whooped his ass because he touched 3 little boys' penises and had them touch his penis. Do you believe it? I don't know. I don't know what was going on in their life. Okay, I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I don't know. The father reported Bryson Muir had touched 2 5-year-olds and 1 8-year-old's boy's private parts. He learned about these alleged incidents through the fathers of the kids who were touched that told their parents, he claimed. I whooped his ass like a grown man, Daniel reportedly told Wright, also claiming that his son has never been essayed. On the phone with Wright, Daniel Muir reportedly made a statement claiming that if they lived in their homeland, religious land, Bryson would be put to death for his acts. Instead, they live in the U.S., so they could not put him to death.
What?
We don't know what they did to Bryson. We don't know what kind of abuse Bryson suffered. Newsweek has contacted Muir's attorney and Straightway for comment. The affidavit also states that Daniel Muir provided police with a video of his son standing in an undisclosed wooded area claiming, "My father did not punch me in the eye," when the Muirs finally agreed to meet with authorities on June 27th. In a solo interview without a lawyer, Kristen Muir told investigators that their son was punched by an unknown individual. And with the teen's safety in mind, his parents decided he should stay with his grandmother at her home near Cleveland, Ohio. After a few days, the Muirs brought Bryson back to Indiana after Cheryl Wright was, quote, making decisions that Kristen Muir did not agree with. During their drive home, they were stopped by the police, but their son was not in the car. Daniel and Kristen reportedly had different explanations for this in their separate interviews with investigators. But Daniel Muir admitted he took their son to another location, which he would not share with police because DCS was looking for him and he wanted to protect his family. What do you guys think of that? I know this whole story, these cults are nuts. Bryson told investigators that last September his father whooped him. Oh my God. I can't. This is hard. Bryson Muir told investigators that last September his father whooped him with a green water hose after his mother popped him in the mouth and the teen jerked and flopped around. Daniel Muir's alleged actions resulted in bruisings on his son's legs, arms, and butt, the team claimed. He described 2 other alleged incidents of physical punishment, including one that reportedly happened last May when Daniel Muir popped him after he tried to poke holes in the walls of the home, leaving him with a bloody nose. What? After he tried to poke holes in the walls of the home? So he gave him a bloody nose? What a fucking prick. In another alleged incident, the Muir parents told their son and seemingly a sibling to clean their bedroom. Bryson Muir claimed his dad popped him in the mouth and also got the rod, which he said meant he was spanked with a belt on his butt, which left bruises. At this point, Kristen Muir halted the interview, allegedly worried that her son's statements would be misconstrued. Kristen Muir stated that none of the children in the home were abused or neglected and asked that investigators move away from the topic of punishment, which they did. The Muirs were denied bail from Cass County Jail following a filing by their lawyer on July 8th, claiming Daniel was a flight risk. Their attorney reportedly claimed the denial was unconstitutional and asked the judge to set a hearing to set bail. The judge also issued a no contact order between the Muir parents and their son. Their jury trial is scheduled for November 4th. So that's a date to keep in mind, November 4th. Unless they get a freaking deal. This is sick. Probably trying to get out. You think that's why he was poking holes? Like, you don't just poke holes in a wall. I hope that too, Kathy. Who is Daniel Muir? Daniel Muir is a pastor at Straightway Truth Ministries, a Tennessee-based religious group that some online have labeled a cult. So we watched some of their videos, and I really can't stomach that guy today. He's put out other videos, and I don't know. I have to be in the mood to watch him. He makes me angry. And after what I heard here, the way that he was like, oh, where's Bryson? And laughed. Like, I don't even want to give him airtime. Like, he literally sucks as a human being. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Pastor Dowell.
I hate you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
So former Packers star Kabir joined Straightway after denouncing Christianity. In December of 2019, he was almost arrested after he allegedly sent his 2 armed friends to a school Christmas program. The men were arrested for trespassing. Kabir sent Muir videos of Straightway's leader, Pastor Charles Dowell, and Muir found himself agreeing with the pastor. Muir also introduced the former Colts teammate Robert Mathis to Straightway following the 2018 season. Sports Illustrated reports Muir initially contacted Mathis about a coaching opportunity, but they hardly talked about that after Mathis took interest in Muir's t-shirt, which read Hebrew. Muir spent 7 seasons in the NFL with 4 different teams, signing with the Green Bay Fudge Packers as a defensive tackle in 2017. He spent 2008 to 2011 with the Colts, 2012 with the Jets, and ended his career with the Raiders in 2013. I really don't give a fuck to talk about his sports history because these people don't impress me at all. At all. They could run a ball, they could catch a ball, whatever the fuck they could do. They made too much money doing it. This guy's a bastard. They do use religion to cover their horrible ways. Hi, twins. Green Bay, the Green Bay Packers is the football team. I hate football. Sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I can't stand it. And I can't stand this guy. He makes me sick. So let's watch them get released. There's a video. Ex-Colts player Daniel Muir, wife post bail and leave jail after the SWAT raid. This was 3 days ago. WTHR 13.
Breaking news, this is new video just into the newsroom of Daniel and Kristen Muir walking out of the Cass County Jail a few minutes ago. In an emergency hearing this morning, the Muirs were granted bond. They posted it this morning, and this afternoon they are out of jail. This is the latest in the case against the former Colts player and his wife. We'll have much more on their release and what's next in the case on 13 News, starting at 4.
Yeah, so here's another one.
The judge's decision last week to deny Daniel and Kristen Muir bond came with multiple arguments from their defense attorneys. Now it's followed by a filing calling the ruling unconstitutional. An attorney we talked to today says no bond for the Muirs' charges is something he's never seen before.
Daniel and Kristen Muir have now been in the Cass County Jail for nearly a week. The couple left
a whole
Wednesday,
week.
July 3rd, visibly frustrated.
A whole week they're in the jail. What about what their son lives in? You know, this is what makes me sick. No bond. When you hurt a child, no bond. Sorry. You should never be accused of hurting a child. No bond.
Earlier that day, they were arrested on their large Cass County property for obstruction of justice. Daniel was also charged with domestic battery. All charges relating to an investigation into their missing son, who state police found on that same property. In a surprise ruling Wednesday, Judge Stephen Kitts denied the couple bond. Hours earlier, the Cass County prosecutor told me he fully expected the couple to receive bond.
The court will take up the issue of bond. They'll be granted a bond in this case.
Daniel Muir's attorney, Nathan Vining, called the no bond ruling unconstitutional in court Wednesday, asking
He's
instead
creepy.
for bond with ankle monitoring, since the couple have several children and Kristen is nursing. The judge says he denied bond for the couple because they're a flight risk.
Why are there still kids that they can go home to? Can we make this make sense? Why is Kristen getting out of the clinker and going home to breastfeed? Can someone make this make sense? Right. They don't live by our laws until it benefits them. Exactly, Feisty. They'll break them all fucking day long. This is twisted.
And have not complied with law enforcement during the search for their son. After the hearing Wednesday, Vining said he couldn't comment on the case, but feels the Muirs were being improperly targeted.
They're not guilty of any abuse or illegal activity.
Look how weird this guy is. He looks like AI. They're not guilty of any abuse or illegal activity. Really? The guy, they boast that they have multiple women.
They're entitled to their day in court and due process.
Vining filed a writ of habeas corpus on Monday, arguing Daniel being held without bond is against his rights. John Tompkins, an Indianapolis attorney who is not affiliated with the case, says Indiana's constitution guarantees bond for everyone with few exceptions.
Usually on every.
Do you hear that? Indiana grants bonds on usually almost everything. There's something wrong with that. Why are child crimes not excluded from that rule? Right? With the exception of you hurt the most precious thing on the planet besides animals. Babies, children, and animals should be the exception to the rule. Always. Doesn't he look like AI? It's creepy as hell. Like, stop it. Imperfectly perfect, like an AI, you know? Oh, I'm just sick.
With few exceptions.
Usually on everything, literally except murder and treason, a judge sets a bond, even if it's a very high bond.
Tompkins says it is possible the judge was given some special factors or evidence showing the couple is a risk or danger to the community that have not been made public. Still,
to deny bond completely would take some extraordinarily compelling evidence.
The Monday filing now calls
Okay, well, if there's that much evidence to deny bond, which they did, why are there still children for them to go home to?
Appearance before the court to set a bond and release the parents. Currently, a bond
What a
hearing
joke.
is scheduled for July 16th.
During that July 16th bond hearing, there will also be a hearing for the no contact.
So they have a no contact order for Bryson, but she gets to go home and nurse. Yeah, he's got more than one. Yeah, exactly, lady. He's got more than one wife. He's admitted it. They talk about it. But they have a no contact order on their oldest son, but she gets to go home and breastfeed. And be under the care and have an infant who can't speak for themselves under her care. There's something wrong with this. Something definitely wrong with that. That's just disgusting. She probably never. Oh, I'm sure she did. I think he probably made her nurse. I've been listening. PB&J, how you doing? I've been listening. I'm completely appalled with these cases. Our legal system needs a complete overhaul. I know. You start to see. No, they had their hearing already. They got out. I went backwards in the reports. Sorry. I went backwards. This one I was supposed to play first. They requested bond, then they got it. So we watched them leave. Who was nursing the child while she was in jail? One of the other wives. Oh, gross. She could be. It is flawed. I mean, look at what's going on in Delphi. That whole mess. What other cases have we seen that have been a mess? I mean, like an outright mess. Where we're like,
what the fuck is this? And everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
crime. I did a deep dive too. I watched a lot of their videos. That's why I just don't care to keep up on his channel. He's gross. Bouchit says, this is off topic, but I think people with pools without an alarm should face some sort of charge if an unattended child falls in and drowns. If that's what it takes, we have too many kids drowning in the summer, especially here in Florida. Mm-hmm. It is infuriating. It's a sect. They look out for each other. Yeah, they sure do. That's what we call a cult. Right. And if you guys send a tip to j4j411.live/tip, you get a spot on Z Wheel. All right, let's get into this. We're going to go back to Chris Watts for a minute. Yesterday, we actually talked about Chris Watts, the house. It was on the market. It was on the market. It was off the market. Then it was on the market again. We talked about the domestic violence that went on with the new owners. And whenever I start talking about Watts, I always go back and start watching. Like when I can't sleep, sometimes I watch Watts videos. I'm embarrassed, but I do. Anyways, I wasn't even 10 minutes into Chris Watts' interview. After he took the polygraph, when he sat with Graham Coder in the interrogation room, he said something. I always caught him saying it in the driveway when he said, you know, I don't want to throw anything out there, but, you know, if someone came around the back and, you know, took her out that way. He said it again, and I never picked up on it in this interview. But check this. I need to get another drink. But check this out. He says it 2 times. Here we go.
There's definitely a chance of somebody I don't know of being a guy or a girl. And she has plenty of friends through like direct sales that I've never met that could have a kid that they come and just say, you know, let's go, like just back up in the back, put them in, let's go.
Back it up in the back, put them in, let's go. But you know what else? He also said right before this that Shanann keeps her circle small. He's like, I've reached out to everyone, you know, because they're like, where could your wife be? He's like, I've reached out to everyone. I've reached out to everyone that, you know, has car seats, that, you know, would, you know, have the kids in the car seats. And then he goes on to say there's people that, you know, she knows that I don't know. Someone could have just pulled up in the back and pulled up and gone. All right, now listen to this.
But I wouldn't have the name. I wouldn't know who they are.
I wouldn't have the name and I don't know who they are. But look, he looks up at the freaking camera after he says that. Let's listen again. I'm just going to play it all the way through now.
There's definitely a chance of somebody I don't know of being a guy or a girl. And she has plenty of friends through like direct sales that I've never met that could have a kid that they come and just say, you know, let's go, like just back up in the back, put them in, let's go. But I wouldn't have the name. I wouldn't know who they are. And this is like, that's what's driving me nuts. It's like when I told the news crew, like if she's out there, like just come home. Like
the back sliding door was locked as well.
So how would she have left the house if she did leave the house? Or not even...
I don't want to put anything out there, like just suspecting like if something like somebody pulled in the back, and because we have a driveway back there from the new townhomes, but it's so hard to tell. Like there's no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone came picked her up, or if somebody took her.
Meanwhile,
what, Chris? A guy or a girl, right? Let's listen again.
There's definitely a chance of somebody I don't know of being a guy or a girl. And she has plenty of friends through like direct sales that I've never met that could have a kid that they come and just say, you know, let's go, like just back up in the back, put them in, let's go. But I wouldn't have the name. I wouldn't know who they are. And this is like, that's what's driving me nuts. It's like,
is that covering just in case someone saw a girl in the back? Could have been a guy or a girl, like Nosy Nate. What if Nosy Nate or someone saw someone in the back? Someone could have come in the back. You know, I'm not saying it's a guy or girl, but I wouldn't know their name. I wouldn't know their name. Thank you for becoming a member, MM. It's good to have you here.
Tell you what, that dang old internet, man. Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I just can't believe it. Do we think that Nicole Kessinger came in the back? Put a 1 if you think she came in the back.
Just back up in the back, put him in, let's go. But
Look at him look up. If that isn't I wish I could have gotten it clearer. This footage is so blurry that I could only get it. This is me zooming in. He is looking directly at the camera. Yeah, I think so too. Punani! Hi, Poon. Ah. I have not been able to play that in so long, Poon. I love you. And I miss you.
You want a cough drop?
Bye, Angie. Give Termite some cheek squeezes for me. She came in through the back door. Yeah, he did. I feel like he gave it away too, Sherry. I think she came around the frickin' back because they had that construction going on right now. Or at the time, rather. He's looking into all of your souls right now. With those black piercing eyes. And look how he puts his hand out. Back him up and let's go. Like, yeah, simple as that. Done. It's so freaking disturbing. Watch, he's like, well, I don't know, man. I mean, it could happen. See his hands?
She basically come and just say, you know, let's go. Like, just back up in the back, put him in, let's go.
Look at that shit. Put him in the back and let's go. Yes, you filthy empanada. You filthy empanada. Was that her that was seen? Because when I was watching this too, another thing stood out to me. Oh, that's so cute. Another thing stood out to me that he said. He said that Shanann was not seen on Nate's video walking up to the house. He said there was video of her getting dropped off, and he said it's kind of weird because you don't see her walking to the house. And then Coder's like, yeah, but she came inside, right? And he was like, well, yeah, but she didn't show up on the video. So did NK not show up on the video too? Her phone pinged in Frederick at like 6 a.m. that morning. Franny says little hands. Oh, he called her his empanada. His sexy empanada. I wonder what NK is doing now, right? Living her best life in protection with a new identity. Who knows? And it never pinged there before and it never pinged there after. Just that morning. Doesn't make much sense.
Wake up.
But I wouldn't have the name. I wouldn't know who they are. And this is like, that's what's driving me nuts. It's like, when I told the news crew, like, if she's out there, like, just come home.
If she's out there, where else would she be, Christopher? If she's out there, what do you think she did? Dissipate into the atmosphere? Why would there even be an if?
The backsliding door was locked as well.
Watch the blink rate. When he left that backsliding door open for that hoe. Watch the blink rate when he says that back door was locked.
back sliding door was locked as well.
So how would she have left the house if she did leave the house? Or
I don't want to put anything out there, like just suspecting like if something like somebody pulled in the back, and because we have a driveway back there from the new townhomes, but it's so hard to tell. Like there's no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone came and picked her up, or if someone took her.
Pamela, where us, everyone? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, he called her his sexy empanada. Who knows? Maybe they ate empanadas together. I have no idea where it came from. Why do you think Chris wouldn't just tell the truth if she was involved? I don't know, trying to protect her, I guess. He didn't want to ruin her life. Because she's probably one of the most hated girls on the planet. She's enjoying her anonymity. I heard she even sent Chris a letter under a false name. Yeah, I never saw him as that. Could I be a deep fake? I never saw him as that in the beginning. Yeah, did they take her out the back? Yep, he was going to protect her, and I think they were going to use her as a witness against him. What's up, Robin Malette in the house? Good to see you. Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, too, in that interview, he mentioned the wrenches. He had to grab some special wrenches that day, probably for the frickin', the hatches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's disturbing as hell. I didn't know empanadas were sexy. That shows how deep in their lust they were. That they were making, food sexy to them. Like, it was all based on sex. I feel like it was all based on poontang. And he got wrapped up in it. Now, I want to ask you guys, put a 1 in chat if you think that Chris had an affair before this. Or put a 2 if you think NK was his first affair. Do you believe the other accounts, like the Amanda girl? I know a lot of you don't believe Trent Bolt, but do you believe that he had... I love my geckos. I love them. Do you believe that he had an affair before this? Put a 1 if you do. Put a 2 if you don't. I think. Someone set me straight. Well, she's kept herself private for a while. Yeah, well, I think he also told her that he liked the smell of her booty. So what does that tell you, Melissa? Blech. What does that tell you? I'd love to go over his interviews again and just rewatch them when things are calm, like we don't have a lot of cases going on, when we have some, downtime, if you will. I'm wanting a trial. I really am. Sorry. Did I say the 1 and 2 wrong? I always do that. I fucked it all up. I screwed it all up. Sorry. Hi, Kung Fu Panda. I don't necessarily think she actually helped commit the crimes, but do think she said her or me applying pressure. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'll just do a poll. That'll be easier. We'll do 2 polls because I want to know what you think. Do you think NK was physically there? Let's do that one first. The night of the murders. Do you think that she was there? Let's do that one first. And then I want to know if You think he had other affairs. We'll do that one next. See, I never saw him as a cheater, and I saw him as like this involved dad. And my view over the years has dissipated from that. And I really feel like it was a concerted effort between the two of them. I feel like he was way more, not so much in a fog or, couldn't remember or, felt like someone was guiding him. I really do think he was complicit in it. It looks like a lot of you think she was physically there. 74% think she was physically there. 26 think no. Yep, her phone pinged there. She was there but didn't do the murders. Huh. I think she might have done the kids, to be honest. Boo sheet, so do I. I think she was sleeping in the basement when Shanann came home, too. I think that's why there was that trauma dog hit in the basement. I think something happened down there. She may have felt it. We don't know what she was feeling, Maybe that's why she got pregnant. Maybe she was feeling something, and that's why she, talked about wanting another baby. There is a lot of weird circumstantial evidence. I wish we could see it all. Right. She said she was on the expressway going to work, and it just happened to ping on a Frederick Tower, but it never did that any other morning or evening when she went home. So most of you think she was physically there. Now let's do the affair bit. I'm wondering what you think of this. Do you think Chris had an affair before NK? This will be interesting. Be careful driving, show. It pinged in the area, but they can't say she was at that house. Well, maybe they were able to do that. They just hadn't done it because they were going to have her testify. Because if you watch her interviews again, it's pretty interesting the questions they ask. I really don't think they're buying everything she's saying. She didn't clock in that day. She gave him an ultimatum at the Lazy Dog. Finish with Shanann. She swung by to check and let herself in, back, and found him with the body of NK and CW. BW Bella still alive. Oh, interesting. Nicole, I love your new picture. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I never heard. Yeah, her phone. It was in her phone records in the discovery. Has my view completely changed? What side of the island are you on? Well, of course, I'm on the side of the victims. I mean, yeah, at first I believed Chris' story. I believed what he said in the first confession, and it took me a long time to see through everything. And he still is a perplexing human being, even though I do think, he did it. I do think there was involvement with NK. I think that's why she got protected. I think that whether she testified in a trial or not, she was going to get the same kind of protection. I just don't know if he could have actually done that to the kids. How far did she live? I think it was about 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I'm not sure. But then she got really possessive, and he said he had to talk her off a couple ledges. He had to talk NK. There was talk of her truck there. Yes. Yes. Crazy. Let's see. There was a point in this video, and this is chaptered, so let me see. No, this one's not. Nate's security camera. Da, da, da. Here's Nate. Nosy Nate's highlight reel. Watts neighbor, no left turn, no second accomplice vehicle. Let's see. Here we go. This will be a good one. Because all of them have been so like manipulated. Let's see this part. Ooh, the music's creepy. That's really creepy. I'll keep it low. I think this is when he's loading it up. Oh my God, we sat here for hours watching this footage. Just watching every little movement. I think they were waiting for her that night too. Yeah, the neighbor Betty, wasn't it? Saw the truck. And then they made a point to ask her what kind of car she drove as well. I'm not sure why this is the most replayed. Okay, now he's loading up the car here because you see the lights. Because remember, we all were like, how did he get her body like... And the dogs didn't pick up on anything in his truck. So is it because she wasn't in his truck? Like, did you see that headlight right there? Did you see that headlight right there? Or is that Chris's? I never noticed that before. I don't remember if she got rid of her car or not. 57% of you think he had an affair before. 43 say no. Wow, it's pretty even. Yeah, like you'll see him walking around the truck too. I'm out. But can you just bring me a regular Coke? Oh, just bring me a regular Coke. Okay. Well, the way he described it, right, was like, oh, she was on the floorboard across the back and the girls were sitting on the seats. NK had a baby B with a married man named Chris. What? Thanks. It just suddenly got really quiet in here. See, I always thought there was someone else in that on the passenger side of that truck too, but then I thought Chris was walking around. Here. How's that better? He said they were alive and holding each other. Yeah. Oh, I know. Her mom's cooking channel. We just watched it not too long ago. She was making omelets. So sad. Probably those kids probably had a lot of fun cooking in Sandy's kitchen. No. I do remember seeing a girl. Yes, I do. Yeah, and it looked like a girl with like boots on, and then we were like, oh, we thought it was Chris or whatever. Because he was wearing like muck boots that day. Zoom in on driver's side window. Well, you can see it from here. You can see the side view mirror here. How's that? I can't believe we're watching this. NK is partner in crime. CW kept her out. In return, she's outside, key person for life. Yeah, I don't know. That might not be a true article because she's under witness protection. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm sure there's a lot of things out there that you can find. See, that's Chris right there with the gas can. And what's he taking the gas can for, do you think? See, there's some more movement right there. Yeah, it did look like she had a bag or a purse or something. Yup. No, we do not know that, Myron. If the kids were 100% alive in the car, they couldn't tell. So at this point in time, do you think she was there? Whether it was in the truck and she parked in the back. Put a 1 if you think she was there at this point in time that we're watching right now. Put a 2 if you don't think so. No, she wasn't denied. She wasn't denied. She's in witness protection and she changed her name. And that's sealed. Right. What was he going to do, Stephanie? Was he going to burn the house or them? And then put the remains in the damn oil tanks? Like, see, there we go, right there. But it's after he pulls away and gets the truck out of the driveway, then you see the figure come out. And now we have to watch it. A lot of you think she was right there. Wow. I think she was there either in the back or something. How do you know that, though, MM? She's never been public and neither of her friends. How can you know what if she has a child? There he goes again. Now he's going back in the garage. You think he was meeting someone on the street? What's up, Megan? This is why they should have gone to trial. Mm-hmm. They spared her and they spared him. Far too many things to be done by him alone. The setup, the basement, the fact there were a lot of logistics. She was probably there even before him. NK is bad, says Patrick. Explosion at oil field like a previous accident. Maybe. To be protected, I think she was there 100%. She could have lied to him, said she was pregnant. That could have been why he protected her. Remember, she was sick. I haven't been able to keep anything down. Oh, God. What if she has Chris Watts' child? I know. Cece and, both those girls just precious. He didn't deserve them. Who wrote the article, P? Who's the article by? So it's starting to get light out now. Look at now that light's on again on the back window when the cab's open. I swear it's coming up where we see that person walk out. I know, Myron. It's so sad. And to think that Bella, woke up. See, there's a figure right there that just went on the side of the truck. I really feel like there's two people around there. You think Jim helped too, MM? Leave Jim out of it. We'll leave Jim out of it if you tell us what we need to know. See more movement there. P, I'm just used to having to vet everything. Well, everything's sealed on her, including her name change, so she's pretty much protected. I think it was a gray truck, Kaleida Hope, and it's good to see you, Kaleida Hope. Yeah, he couldn't afford a divorce. This is money issues. This is a lot of weird dynamics. See those lights, Cricket? Beyond in those through the trees there, you can see there's movement in that cab. And I always thought, like, if he put Shanann in the back, don't you think we'd see like the weight move, like the shock, like, the shocks of the truck on that back tire? No, that's the neighbor's trucks. We're looking at the bed of his truck. He's got his truck backed up to the garage. He was in debt up to his eyeballs. He couldn't even afford the house he was in. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, she's pretty protected to be hiding all these years. There's nobody in the neighbor's truck. They're not out there. Why is she in witness protection? What did she witness? Good question, true crime. I hope I never hear that creepy giggle. Yeah. Imagine living in that house and going in that closet. The only things I see about her having a baby are on TikTok. I can't. The New Zealand Herald? How reliable is that? Would you ever live in that house? Put a 1 if you'd live in the Watts house. Put a 2 if you wouldn't. So she had the name change after the Netflix came out. So this whole article is clickbait because the title says, yeah, no, there's no proof of that. I don't get my news from TikTok. Yeah, I see the AI picture that people made. That's sick. It's sick to use Bella Watt's image in an AI to make it look like freaking NK and Chris Watt's kid together. That's really gross. Thank you, One-Eyed Flo. Please spare my shame. I've never watched this. Really? Isn't this where she walks out after this part? Ooh, and to think, like, when I was in that backyard. Ooh. See, he walked back in right there. Did you see it? He pulled the truck out, and then he walked back into the garage. So watch. Was that him? Because then we're going to have someone coming out, too. Watch. Y'all never watch this? Watch carefully right now. Doesn't someone else come out after this, or am I just losing it? I always thought I had a bad version of the video. So I was like, he walked in, walked out, and then someone else walks out again. And then remember, he got the notification. He got the notification for the open door, the open garage or basement door or garage door. It was identical to her dad's truck. That would explain why her dad was there then in the meeting. I could have sworn someone else walks out. Yeah, keep your eye on it. Let me know, folks, if I miss it. Because I feel like my eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm trying to, like, focus in. Myron says that night you can feel it. Something is wrong while you watch it. Especially the body cam, too, when they first come in the house. Okay, so there we have him pulling away. This is, I think, where it comes out. It's after he pulls away. She's definitely not Mrs. Miller. I have looked into Mrs. Miller's Twitter and everything else. Trust me, she's not the same. I don't think so. Myron, thank you so much. Thank you, Myron. That was generous of you. It's been so long since I watched this. I don't remember where that part is, but I'm thinking it's should be right around here. I just don't recall it being this bright when we saw the figure, unless it was manipulated. I did Google it, and it's freaking TikTok news. I'm not putting that out there. That's just weird. Even if it is her kid, why would we want to put the kid's picture out there? It's just weird. Let me speed it up a little bit. Keep watching. See if someone walks out. I know there's been so many manipulated by a certain person to make things that they weren't, that there wasn't. Like, take a quadruple murder case and just let's add things to it to make it worse. He wanted NK to be implicated so bad. I mean, I did too. Like, if she did something, but damn. To add shit to videos, that's pretty far reach. It's fake, and they used the Watts girls' pictures to create that image, and that's just sick. You can put multiple pictures of different people in an AI program, and it'll show you like what it would look like if all those people were combined, like had a kid. Or you can put two pictures of people like, oh, what would it look like if they had a kid or something? You can't believe everything you see. No, I don't know if Dave is on here. I don't approve of Dave. I think Dave is an exploiter of victims, and I think Dave is a piece of shit. Anybody who's going to show up in a killer's jersey at the gravesite of the victim, knowing that the victims have a camera, is a sick mofo. Anybody who would watch him after that is, you gotta, I don't know, man. My Madeline Soto series. Thanks. I don't think we're going to see Ish anymore. But let's go to this most replayed. Why is this the most replayed? Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. There's too much AI out there. Voice changers, AI photos, shit like that. Filters. It's craziness. Verify, verify, verify. Could I be a deep fake? Thank you so much. I have a list of 122 red flags in this case. Thank you for the £4.99, mate. He's gross. He's absolutely deplorable. When he did that, I lost all respect. What's up, Yvonne? That's so wrong to mess with someone's life just to fit their narrative. Yeah. Would I sleep in that house alone? Nope. No way. Would you, Myron? It was Seeking the Truth with Dave is what his name was. And he was the furthest thing from the truth that you can imagine. The furthest thing. He flew from Australia to meet the Watts family. He positioned himself with Ronnie Watts as like a surrogate son. So much so that he got to their home and they gave him one of Chris's Steelers jerseys, which Dave proceeded to put on and then go to the graves of Shanann, Nico, Bella, and Cece. That's just gross. I have the best mods on YouTube. Hashtag best mods. They don't play. They do not play. Yeah, they're easily manipulated, P. But let's put the blame on the person who went up and posed in front of the gravesite and had his picture taken, all looking like Chris. Can you imagine how triggering that was for the Rusaks when they looked at that camera footage? Can you imagine how traumatic that must have been if they looked at that camera and he looked like Dave? Or looked like Chris? It's such a gross thing to do. Yeah, it's gross. To talk crap, whatever, but to put on the man that took their lives jersey and go pose in front of their gravesite, that's despicable to me. But
You can't talk to a fucking log.
you seriously can't. If the Watts praise him, I don't know what to say about that. I would never praise that man. Ever. They specifically asked for no one to go there filming to, and Dave did while looking like Chris. It's gross. Super gross. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. This concludes this Monday Live. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning at 10 a.m. tomorrow for our morning show. And until then, everybody, you guys stay safe, and thank you so much for your support. Moderators, thanks for being here. Dave played the cops footage and pointed out his jersey hanging in the closet. Oh my God. That's really disgusting. Again, thank you so much, Retired EMT, for your Amazon gifts. We really appreciate it. And enjoy your membership. Well, hopefully you'll stick around. Everybody stay safe. Let's run our credits for Myron, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Jennifer loves horses. Hi, Jennifer.